Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Now Tarte recently came out with a blush palette. This is just called the Tartiest blush palette. It just says blush here, but on Sephora's product page it says blush palette. Now this is a limited edition and this is an exclusive to Sephora, or that's at least that's what it says. New exclusive limited edition was the tags right under the name of the product on Sephora's page. So this is, as I said, new limited edition and exclusive to Sephora. Now I paid $38 for this and you get 4 shades in it. Let me just quickly show it to you. You get 4 shades in here and $38. So if you break it down, you get you pay $9.50 for each, and in each pan you get 4.5 grams, that's 0.15 ounce of products in each pan. I think Tarte's full size blushes carry 0.2 ounce of product and this is 0.15. So it's a not bad amount of product quantity to get. It's pretty good, I would say. And yeah, you get 4 shades, and this, as all of Tarte's palettes, anything put in palettes, this is made in China. And yeah, and this is, let me quickly say, this is formulated without parabens, mineral oil, phthalates, triclosan, sodium lauryl sulfate, gluten, and this is dermatologist tested. And you do get a list of, I don't want to show you the back of the box because it is like paper, like cardboard. This is not cardboard, this is like a good solid paper, but it is extremely reflective gold. It would definitely blind you guys. So, but it does have a list of ingredients, and this is cruelty free. It doesn't say anything about vegan, so I guess it's not. It's just cruelty free. Now, the palette, the product itself has the same pattern as the box, which is nice. Tarte's palettes are very colorful on the outside, but inside they are very neutral. That is the case in this as well. And they say that this is also a clay blush palette. Now they say that this palette can be used for both night and daytime look. I have some thoughts on that. Let me share it with you guys too at the end after the swatches. Now as you can see, it kind of looks washed out. Don't worry, it's not my camera, it's not the lighting. Even in person it kind of looks washed out, except for this shade, which is like looks very vibrant. Pay attention to the words that I use. It is not a vibrant shade, it looks vibrant in the palette, but these 3 are pretty neutral shades. Let me swatch and tell you guys each, as I swatch each shade, let me tell you how it performed on my skin. Now before I start, I have to tell you guys that I do not wear a makeup base like a foundation or a concealer. So I do test all of my complexion products, like blush and highlighter are the only 2 complexion products that I use. I do test it just on bare skin. So maybe there is a chance that these perform differently over a makeup base like a foundation or a concealer. So I'm not sure. I just use for a moisturizer and just a sunscreen and just a very light dusting of just powder, like the Revlon Nearly Naked, which is like a very sheer powder. So that's what I use on my face. Now today, right now, I have like literally nothing, no powder, just moisturizer. So this is I just tested this on bare skin. So let's start with this. This is Dream, which actually looks baby pink in the pan, and it does show true to on my skin as it does in the pan. It is a baby pink blush, and it looks very baby pink even on my skin. But I have to build it up. Definitely 2 to 3 layers will get the job done. It will show up on my skin. And it will look baby pink. So it kind of looks like an unnatural blush, because I will never, when I blush or when I get embarrassed or whatever be the case, I don't turn pink at all, and I never will. I probably would have red patches some here and there. So this definitely is not my natural flushed tone. But anyways, regardless, this does show up baby pink on my skin, and it doesn't, without looking ashy. So that's for me, that's, I would say, is a well formulated blush for you know, showing true to what it looks in the pan. So that is Dream. The baby pink is Dream. And then you have Love. Love is like a nude blush, nude with mauve tones to it. As you can see, it has like it kind of looks ashy in the swatch, but on the skin these two look very, I'm going to say exactly the same. When you build this needs building up as well, because this is a nude blush and I have darker skin, so it's not going to show up right away. But when you build it up, it looks exactly like a baby pink blush. It doesn't look any different. It does show up without looking ashy on my skin, so that again is a good thing. I definitely appreciate that it's been well formulated, that it looks good on all kind of skin tone, not just on pale skin. It does show up without looking ashy. But a lasting power, it's a different story altogether. Let me just talk about it after I finish the swatches. Now this is Laugh. Now this is actually a darker blush when compared to these two. The two from the right, these two are like, this is like a baby pink, but this is like a nude blush. So this third from the right is actually a darker blush. It has peach tones to it, but surprisingly this doesn't show up at all. I think the peach in the blush kind of blends in with my skin, with my warm skin tone, and I just couldn't build it up to show up on my skin tone. That's actually kind of odd, because this is a darker blush when you compare it with it. No matter how much I built up, it didn't like show up as an actual flushed look or actual blush. It kind of just disappeared into my skin tone. Now these two are matte, and this is this has glitter in it. I wouldn't say shimmer, I wouldn't call this like a luminous blush. It has glitter in it, not like gigantic sized glitters, but it definitely has glitter, and you can actually see it as well. So Laugh, I just couldn't make Laugh work on my skin, although this is a darker blush when you compare it with these two. Then finally, this is like a bright coral shade, at least in the pan, and that is called Live. As you can see there, it does look coral, but I was disappointed because when you build this, and this needs building up as well, it doesn't like show up right away like a red blush would do on my skin tone. But this, when you build it up, it looks exactly like this too, guys. These two, so these two, 1, 2 and 3, this very pale baby pink, this nude mauve shade, and this bright vibrant coral. Believe it or not, these three look very similar on my skin, so that is definitely on a disappointment for me on about this palette, because they look so different in the pans, but these three do show up without being ashy, but they all look very, very similar. And this shade, the coral kind of peachy shade, not coral, a peachy shade, just disappears in my skin tone. It does not, I just don't see it at all. As at least maybe you could see a very slight peach tone, but that's just not enough. A blush needs to look like a blush. A blush needs to like light your face up, right? It has to like bring life to it. These shades do not. Now the baby pink blush, I'm not going to lie, these two blushes, the baby pink and the nude mauve shade, they do show up, but these shades are not my natural flushed shades. I will never turn baby pink at all, whether I'm blushing or I'm feeling embarrassed, whatever be the case. I would probably have red patches here and there if I'm like working out too much, if I'm feeling embarrassed in a situation, or if I'm blushing. I'm never going to be turning baby pink at all. So these are not my natural tones. So that's just a personal preference, but these three shades do show up on my skin without being ashy, but they all look the same. They all look baby pink on my skin tone. And this peachy shade, third shade, it just kind of blends into my skin tone, and it doesn't like stand out at all. This is like a total failure for me. These three do show up, but they all look very, very similar. So all in all, this palette is kind of a flop for me on my skin tone. Now I have to say, lasting power. Now these are very pale shades, so they just don't last well. Maybe now I have to, like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't use a makeup base. So if you use a makeup base like a concealer or a foundation, there is a possibility that they last longer. But these are not, they don't pop on my skin tone, so maybe they are still on my cheeks when I'm checking for updates when I use these blushes, but I just don't see it. Probably I have to go really, really close and observe very closely, but it has to just appear and make my face look flushed, right? I'm not going to go in with a microscope and look at my face, and nobody is all as well. So to me, lasting power is also, I'm not very impressed at all. They kind of disappear and kind of fade away, and kind of, they are muted shades to begin with, so they just don't stay muted. They kind of disappear after a while. So I'm not happy with the lasting power. I'm not happy with the shade selection. But if you want to buy this palette, you should probably be obsessed with these baby pink looks. So otherwise, I don't see this palette just working for anybody. I mean, sorry, anybody with dark skin tone. I'm sorry. Maybe they do look different if you have lighter skin, but darker skin, I don't think of these. I don't recommend this palette if you have darker skin. And they describe that this palette is meant for night and daytime looks. These colors don't pop in even in daylight. I don't see how they would be. No, they are going to look prominent and like as blushes in nighttime when there is no light. In the darkness, I don't know. I don't think these would actually work as daytime and nighttime blushes. So for me, it's a no for this palette. This palette is definitely going back. Lasting power, I'm not happy. Shade selection, I'm not happy. And definitely, I don't think this is like a day and nighttime blush palette. This is probably for people who truly love their baby pink blushes. If you do, I think this will look really good. So yeah, that's it guys. That's my review on this palette. Hope you guys found this video useful. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked watching it, and please subscribe. Bye.